Hello, my name's Sue Lewis and I'm going to be taking through this presentation, which is end of Year 8. And this session will help you look at your skills and also to start thinking about the job you might like. So this session is all about helping you to become career ready. So what we're going to do in this session is look at the skills that you've got. You can look at how those skills relate to jobs you might be interested in. Why are we doing that? Well, it's really important for you to know what skills you've got and be thinking about how you can develop even more skills that are going to be useful in work in the future. Also, then you can start to look at how those skills fit with particular jobs and you'll have things to talk about when you go for interviews or you're writing applications. So for teachers, just to explain how this session is structured, the introduction will take about 10 to 15 minutes, and then students will have some time to do some online tasks using the Career Palette website, which will take about 30 to 35 minutes, and then the wrap-up session is about 10 minutes. Okay, so what we know from research is that these 6 things are really important for people to develop as skills in order to manage their future careers. Whether you're young, whether you're old, it's really important to have some career skills so you can make good decisions. And what we're going to focus on today are 3 particular ones. One which is called Grow Throughout Life. So that's kind of being aware of all the opportunities that are there, how skills link to qualifications and what qualifications you may be able to choose in the future. Exploring the possibilities. So today we're going to look at the range of jobs and different job sectors that might be available to you. And another skill has been to manage your career, look towards the future and think about where you are now and how you can start planning towards the future. So what we're going to focus in a lot on today is skills. So what are skills? So skills are having like an expertise or a talent in order to be able to do a job or a task. So here's some examples of some skills that are considered to be really important for life, for learning, for work. Number 1 is staying positive. So you're kind of very positive about keeping going, resilient, you don't give up. Aiming high is always trying to do the best you possibly can whenever you've got a job to do. Leadership is obviously being able to lead and take something forward. Teamwork, working with others successfully to get things done. Listening, being a good active listener, so you digest what you have to do and then you can carry that task out. Speaking, being able to speak to a range of different audiences. Problem solving is straightforward. And then creativity, having that creative flair. So these are skills that are considered to be important. They come from something called Skills Builder, which some schools are doing some work on. So that might be something happening in your school. So first of all, let's have a little think about skills and what skills might be useful for different jobs. So here you can see some jobs. The one on the top left is a school teacher, looks like a maths teacher. Then below that, there's an artist. In the middle, you might recognise that person. That's the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. Then on the right-hand side, we've got a healthcare worker. It looks like a nurse. And then below that, we've got somebody who looks like a chef. So what I want you to do, the person sitting next to you for about 3 or 4 minutes, and teachers, you might want to pause this video while students are doing this, have a look at those skills below and think about which skills would be really useful in each of these jobs. Sometimes there'll be loads of them, and sometimes there might be specific ones. So have a little think with the person sitting next to you, and take about 4 minutes to do this task. So great, so hopefully you had a chance to think about the skills that be useful in those jobs. I mean, a teacher is obviously going to have to be good at speaking, listening, and problem solving, getting things together, putting a lesson plan together, and always aiming high, of course, as well. An artist, obviously, they're going to have to be good at creativity, and again, aiming high, staying positive if things don't work out the first time. Those things could be important as an artist. So the one in the middle is the Prime Minister, and you'd imagine in a way the Prime Minister needs to have all these skills, being able to listen, being able to speak effectively, solving lots of problems, maybe some creativity from time to time, and staying positive when things don't quite go to plan, always aiming for the best, obviously having excellent leadership and being able to work as part of a team because you can't do everything on your own. Then the healthcare worker, that obviously they have to be good at listening to people who might be telling them about their symptoms and speaking clearly. Problem solving might come into that as well. Staying positive because it's a tough job as well, isn't it? And working as part of a team. And then the chef, obviously they need to be creative sometimes when they're thinking about how they're going to create this amazing meal. And again, a lot of team working and staying positive if things don't work out. So these skills can be applied to lots of different situations. So what we're going to do is start to look at your skills in a minute. And the way we can do it is using a website called Career Pilot. A Career Pilot is a careers website that's got all the information in one place. So on the site, we've got information about jobs, courses. You can plan your qualifications for the future. There's over 1,000 video stories, all about people who are working or people doing particular qualifications. You could do some quizzes, and there's particular tools here to help you know more about yourself, like your skills we're going to do in a minute. But you might already have a qualification in mind, so you can look at that and you'll get advice and information to help you make a good decision about that particular pathway. So careerpilot.org.uk is where we're going to be going in a minute. So where are you going to start exploring your future career? Well, I've got a few tasks to help you get started. One thing I'm going to do first of all is get you registered on the site, because getting registered means you get access to another part of the site called the Career Tools. And this is where you can build your own careers report, and that'll be available for you there. So definitely register, and if you've registered before, you can just sign in. Okay, we're going to then look at this particular part of the site. There's 3 stages. Start with you, explore your options, plan your next steps. So start with you is kind of all about you. And the activities we've got for year 8, I'm going to show you in a minute, but you can also see them through the website here. So you can click on year 8 and you'd see the activities that we're going to mention in a minute. But here they are as well. So number 1, you're going to get registered. Then you're going to do a skills profile, which will help you find out what skills you've got already. Then you can explore some jobs and see which ones you might be interested in. You could start with a subject you like or you love and think where that job might go. We give you lots of ideas. And because you're going to be choosing your GCSEs coming up in year 8 or maybe in year 9, then you might want to have a little look at the exploring choices of 14 and GCSE sections, just so you're ahead of the game. Just to remind you that job sector is like a big thing, like business and admin, healthcare, animal, and then below that there'll be lots of jobs. And what you'll see in Career Path, there's loads of jobs, some you might never even heard of before, so it's good for finding out more. Okay, so just to run you through, number 1, you're going to register. This form will pop up when you click on that in the top right of the home page. Put in your postcode and all your other personal details. Put in your school, just start typing it and it'll come up. Put your year group in, which is obviously year 8, and then you'll be in. If you have used the site before and registered, just sign in. If you've forgotten your password, do forgotten password. Number 2, you're going to go to Start With You, which is on the home page, and you're going to do the skills map, the skills profile, and this will help you think about what skills you've got. So this will ask you questions about what you've done in your life or your learning. So it's about hobbies, for example. I've kept going with a hobby or sport out of school. And for everything you take as many as you want to. Then it tells you what skills that activity is giving you. So if you kept going with a hobby or sport out of school, then you're probably resilient. You keep going, you never give up. And you stay positive and you can be flexible because, you've had to do that because you've had to keep going with something over a long period of time. So this is what you'll get after you've done the quiz, and it shows you how many examples of that particular skill you got from doing the quiz. So for this student, for speaking, they clicked on 4 examples as they did the quiz. So they've got 4 examples now of their activities they've done which has developed their speaking skills. You can also add your own examples as well. So you can just do that here. Do anything you do in your life, you're learning, you might be doing babysitting, whatever it might be, add that activity in, and that will be added into this as well. So if you add an activity, let's see what skills that give you, and if you clicked on speaking, then that would be added in alongside the examples you got from the quiz. Now, one other thing you could do then is start to look at job sectors. There's a few different ways you can do it. You could look at a job here. You could put in the name of a job like nurse, doctor, plumber, and you could see the skills that are needed for that job and your skills at the moment alongside that. That's one way to start looking at the jobs. But you could go to explore your options. And when you do that, you go to our job sector and you can and you can click on jobs by job sector, or put in the name of a job if you already know it. And once you've done that, you'll see all our sectors. Remember, that's the big thing. You can drill down to what part of that sector you're really interested in. Then you'll see all the different jobs. So animal care worker, animal technician. So you've got a little summary here about that job. You can find out more about this sector, but the bit we're interested in is job profiles. So if you click on any of these jobs, animal care worker, you'll find out loads more about it. Now, one other thing, because you signed in, you can add things to your career tools and build your report. So in the top corner, there's a plus sign on just about every page in Career Palette. If you like a job or you like this sector, add it to your career tools and that'll start to build your report. Okay, you'll be able to then see things in my job sectors. Here's all your sectors and here's the jobs you've been looking at. And your skills map will show in here as well. Number 4, you can have a look at where a subject you like will lead. So in Start With You, there's something called Start With a Subject, and then you can click on a subject you like, and it'll show you examples of jobs and courses that subject could lead on to. So again, you could click and find out a lot about that job. So there's lots of different ways to get to the jobs information. Number 5, because in the future you're going to be looking at GCSE options, if you've got time today, you can look at choices of 16, or look at the GCSE section, and then you find out a bit more about the choices that are going to be open to you in year 8, maybe in some schools, or year 9. You can also explore all the different pathways that you could choose in the future. Okay, so here's the summary. Number 1, register or sign in if you've done it before. Number 2 is the skills map. Number 3, you're going to look at jobs. Number 4, you can start with a subject. Number 5, you can explore your choices of 14 GCSEs. So you're going to have about 25 minutes to do this. If you're the teacher in this lesson, you might want to stop the video now and give the students 25 minutes to do these activities. You will need about 8 to 10 minutes at the end for the wrap up. So just make sure you allow that amount of time. Great, so hopefully you had a chance to do the activities, one of which was to look at the skills that you've got already. So I'm just showing you some of them here. So put your hand up if you had 5 or more examples of one of these skills in the skills profile, either things that came from the quiz or things you added yourself. So who had 5 or more examples of speaking, resilience, teamwork, staying positive, being flexible, leadership, listening, time management, problem solving, computer skills, creative? So hopefully what you can see from your group, that there's lots of people with lots of skills in your room, and some will have loads of examples already of one, but some will have loads of examples of others. And of course what we need in the world is people with all these different skills, and we need a blend of people who are really good at speaking and really good at other things as well. You also looked at where a subject might lead. So let's just get a bit of an idea about who looked at what. Who had a look at computing, dance, drama, English, food tech, geography. So again, hopefully you can see that people are interested in a range of things. And that's again what we want in the world. People with different specialisms and interests. Again, sectors of jobs, people will be interested in different things. So just put your hands up if you had really looked at hospitality and catering. Was that something of interest to you? IT and digital, law, politics and government, media, games and performing arts, retail and customer services, science and maths. So hopefully you can see you've got a real blend of different interests within your room today. So you can look at all your report in the Career Tools. You can do it in two different ways: by dashboard, which gives you a summary of all the things you've been adding, or you can see the full report. And if you've done all the Career Tools, it could be quite detailed. This could be useful to share with your parents, but also your teachers might be interested to talk about this when they're helping you to plan your careers. And that report will move up with you every year. And you could change things. You don't have to stick to the same things right throughout. You might change your mind completely in year 9, for example, or year 11. So just to remind you, these are the 6 things, whether you're young or old, are really important skills to have. You're going to be able to manage your career going forward. And we're focusing on 3 today. Growing throughout life. Hopefully you feel you understand a bit more about learning, skills and qualifications. Exploring possibilities. Hopefully you got a chance to look at jobs and different sectors. And all of it was about helping you manage your career, looking forward to the future. So just my final slide, don't forget your password. That's going to be really important. And you can go back to careerpilot.org.uk anytime at all. You could do that from home. It's not just about school. But every year you probably will do some Career Pilot activities, but they'll all be tied in to the things you need to be thinking of at that particular time to get ready for your career. So keep using Career Pilot, keep bookmarking. That means like clicking on the plus signs when you like something. Review your choices, change things if you don't want to do them anymore. You will have access to your Career Pilot account until you're 21, so it can support you right through until you're at university, for example, or you're doing an apprenticeship, or even might be working by then. So good luck with all your future plans, and I will be back again talking about Career Pilot and how it can help you make career decisions when you're in year 9.